Good afternoon, traders. How are you all doing? I hope you can hear me. Please, can you give me a yes or give me something to let me know you can hear me? Good afternoon, traders. How are you all doing? Okay, yep, I know you can hear me. I've got a new microphone, so that's why I'm just double checking if you can hear me. Oh, okay, just bear with me. Let me use the old one because I'm speaking as loud as I can and you cannot hear me properly. So let me use the old one. Can you hear me now? This one is better. Right, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for the confirmation. Cool. Right, let's start. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I did have a great weekend, which is I didn't do anything. I literally just spent the entire weekend relaxing. Yeah, I spent the entire weekend relaxing and thinking about this week. The reason why being I have a feeling that there's going to be a crazy, I don't know, but I'm having some dreams and I'm having this feeling that something is going to happen. I don't know what, but I feel like something is going to happen in the during this week, and it's keeping me like restless. So I just relax to overcome all those stuff. But apart from that, all good. So I'm fully rested and ready for this week. So let's begin with the dollar as usual. Looking at what the dollar is doing, we've had a very good move away from our level down here, and I'm still favoring higher dollar. I still want to see dollar go higher. How high do I want to see dollar go? To this little gap in here. So my upside objective on dollar is, why is, oh, my color is white, that's why. That's why I can't see them. All right, so probably I've got about 4 of them now. Okay, so these are my upside objective on dollar for now. So the first level here, that's my upside objective for dollar. So I'm expecting dollar to push higher again. Well, I don't care about them. Whoever wins, they've already priced in. Whatever is going to happen. It's already been priced in the market, and it looks like it wants to go higher. Okay, regardless of who is going to win, maybe they'll push it higher first and then drop it. But according to what the market structure is showing right now, it wants to go higher. Okay, so don't go by speculation, go by price. Okay, don't go by speculation, go by price. Look at what price is doing and then go with that. Speculation is as it is speculation. Price is price. Okay, price action is saying that it wants to go higher, so don't go for speculation, go for price. Right, it's much better to go with the price and be wrong than go with speculation and be wrong, because speculation is just speculation. Okay, you don't know who is gonna win, and you can't say yes, if he wins it's gonna fall. You don't know. Okay, no one knows. So because price is showing that they want to go higher, and why am I saying it wants to go higher? Because we just came below this short-term low and rejected. We did hit a down candle prior to this move up, and price has also rejected. So this low being run here and rejection breaking above this high, that is where they want to take price. Okay, so they've taken the stops below this low, broken a short-term high. That's where price wants to go, and above that, anything that is worth attracting price to is these two levels up here. Okay, so that's why I'm going for higher prices on dollar, and then if it changes and it comes back down, then we go lower. Okay, so on the downside, let's see on the downside, if, because overall I'm in the bigger picture of dollar I'm bearish. Okay, but price doesn't go down in a straight line, so I'm not gonna be bearish in this condition. Okay, the bigger picture, price is gonna fall, so I'm looking for a pullback. This is just a pullback, and then we will seek to go lower again. So on the downside, if we are to reject and come back down, I'll be looking at price overall taking out this consolidation. Right, I had this this target back in last year. I think last year around November. So last year around November, when we broke market structure here, okay, my eyes went straight down there. Okay, last year when we broke market structure here, my eyes went straight down there. Why? Because I can see there is a a market maker sell profile, and that usually ends by taking out this consolidation, and this is normal. This is just a bounce. It's normal. It does go back up and then ultimately coming back down again. So when we break down, That's where I'm looking for dollar to go to come and take out this low. So this is just a pullback to go up. Ultimately, dollar is gonna fall. That is it. They cannot avoid that. Okay, that's just price showing where it wants to go. So at least the minimum that it needs to go up is this down candle's closing price or the opening price. So the closing price or the low. So the low is just at the second target that I'm expecting price to go to, right there. Okay, that's where minimum, or I'll say that's as far as I'm expecting it to go to, and then I'll expect price to drop down again. And then this time when it's coming back down, I'm expecting this low to be taken, and price running down for this one as well. All right, so higher dollar for now. Okay, let's get rid of some of these not relevant. So these are the upside objective, at least 95, say 95.60, 95.60, you can call that. So look for 95.60 for the near term. Yeah, that will close in this little gap in here, and then because this has been closed in, everything has been closed in apart from that one. Okay, there's nothing in here above, there's nothing in there, everything has been perfectly balanced but this. So that's where I think price is going. All right, so with that said, let's jump onto euro. I'll be expecting euro to drop as well. That's where I'm expecting euro to drop to. If we get that move on dollar, I expect euro to drop to 1.15. Okay, 1.15. What I see possibly happening is maybe during the election they might, let me get rid of this for now. This is for this week, but for the election they might spike price into here. Okay, depending on how we trade tomorrow going into Wednesday. If we don't hit, there is a break on the 1 hour time frame, which I'm expecting to, didn't quite get there, but I was expecting that to hit and then drop again and take out this low. But if they don't do that and we get to the election day, probably they might spike price to this level and then drop again. Okay, so what you can do if you want to catch some really sniper entries, you can play with it. Do not trade live funds with it. Okay, just demo trade it and see what happens. So you can set a sell limit just at 0.1, 0.01 here, 0.01 there. Okay, and then 0.01 up here, and then put your stop loss above this high, and then see what happens. It might spike into one of these levels and then drop again. Okay, that's how I feel. It might spike in there, one of them. I'm not sure which one, because during the election it can do crazy things. Okay, so I think if I can go all the way back to 2016, that's what happened. 2016 November, yeah, something like this. Okay, they might spike it up and then reject and then go lower. Okay, because price is meant to be dropping, but they will try and I'll use the terminology priming. Okay, they'll try and lead the sheeps to the opposite side of where they really want to go. So if they want to go down, they will lead everyone to the upside, and people will chase that one, and then they'll put the brakes on it and then drop. Right? So in what we have in price action, you can place like your sell limit somewhere in here as a gap. Okay, this doesn't look nice. It was just all highs, so that's why they came for that highs. But in what we have now, we do have a proper price action in here. So they could spike it all the way up into one of these levels. I don't think they will come up here. It's not necessary for them to do that, but these levels they could, or they can, and spike it in there and then drop again. So you could set a sell limit in one of these gaps and then expect price to reject and go and continue going lower. Right? If not, then they just continue to drop into this gap. Okay, so I was looking for the so I was looking for this breaker here as a trade to continue going lower. That's the trade idea I had on earlier, but they didn't quite get there. Maybe it could be a trap. They could come back to that level. There. They could come back to that level and then drop again. So if they don't, then they take out this low. Then I'll take this one as the next breaker. Okay, so if they don't spike back up in there and then close below this low, then I will take this one and continue going lower. All right, so that's what I have on euro. On British pound, they did hit my first target, which was this equal low here from Friday's entry, and they've taken that. I still think they might drop it down into the gap on, I think there's a gap on the daily that needs to be filled. Here. So for long term, in terms of the direction I'm calling dollar to go to on the upside, long term I'm expecting pound to drop in here, which next week, or probably ending of this week, they can continue to start going down. Okay, so expect this to continue going down. For trade entry wise, maybe I'll wait for a breaker to form. At the moment, there's nothing to form a trade. Actually, this level, it's not bad. It's not bad level. It's just that it's Monday. If this was a Tuesday, Wednesday, then I'll have no problem taking this. Mondays are very tricky. They might want to take price wherever they want to take it to for the high of the week to form. But today being Monday, this is not bad. Taking out this short-term high into this gap and this last up candle, we could see a continuation to the downside from here. Right? So you'll be looking for price to come back and take out this low as your first target. Okay, and then you leave some on for here. Let's have a look inside the 4-hour. You could take something off when price rebalances or this move to the upside. Okay, so this would be your downside objectives. Delete. Okay, so you could look for these as your downside objectives. That one too. Okay, and then you just leave the rest. Once we get here, it might offer a bounce. It might offer a bounce, and then ultimately dropping down to take out this low. How confident am I that this low might take? Now that they are below this down candle, I am pretty confident. Think price is now trading off this breaker. Okay, price is now trading off this down candle, so we could see a drop. The way I see price and why I'm calling it down there is I see all this move to the upside as manipulation. So usually what I'll do is I'll measure that manipulation and then look for the opposite of that. So I'll be looking for this. So you can see that eventually takes out this low, right? But it will not go down in a straight line, so you have to take profits as it's dropping, right? So that is the business on this. I think I might get myself a demo entry on this one, even though it's moving away. I still like to get myself a demo entry on this. I actually had a trade on since last week Friday, right in here. Okay, so last week Friday I got a short in here, and I got another one in here as well. After running this short-term high, I got a short in there. It didn't get to my target, this equal low, came back up, and then I took another sell there. And then this morning, run 8, yeah, it took me out on my target. I still have a position on. I'm still gonna take one in here to continue going lower. Give me 1 second. I'll actually do it later. It doesn't matter. It's just a demo trade. Okay. Also New Zealand. These ones are this and Aussie dollar. They are quite different. For now, relative strength wise, they are leading. Okay, so you will see pound New Zealand, pound Aussie, euro Aussie, and euro New Zealand. All of them should be dropping. Why? Because of relative strength. So these are leaders. They are not going down as pound and euro is doing. So they are leaders. Therefore, their crosses are going to be leading. So pound New Zealand, pound Aussie, euro New Zealand, and euro Aussie, they'll all be dropping. So for that reason, I do not like to sell them. I would just like to sell these ones, and then if I want to take the crosses, then I'll go onto the crosses and then take one of the crosses which has got good price action. So whether euro Aussie has got a good price action, then maybe I'll take that one. If euro New Zealand has got a good price action, let's jump on that. This one hasn't. Let's check euro Aussie. This one, yeah, the trade is gone from this breaker here. It's gone. It looks like they want to come here on euro Aussie. It looks like they want to drop down to that gap. So any pullback will lead price to drop again. It might pull back to this area, so you can look for a sell here. Okay, and then look to target down here, because I still see all this move to the upside. This is not buying, this is manipulation, just like this one here. Same thing in here. This is manipulation, and they will come back below it. Selling it right now would be chasing price, so let it pull back and then you can find an entry. Okay, there are two breakers, one in here and then one there. Okay, we had this one that took out the short-term high, and then that one that took out that short-term high, but this one has got a low gap and the last up candle there, so that is a very powerful level. So I'll prefer that one, and then I'll be looking to target this low and into this gap. Okay, so that's how I'll use the strength in Aussie and sell Euro Aussie instead of selling Aussie dollar. Okay, because there's relative strength. It's not going to drop as these two are going to. All right, so going back to New Zealand dollar, I will not be doing anything on this because of the relative strength. Selling this will mean you are trying to go against the strength, so just use the strength in this one, just like I've done to sell Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand if you want to, because I think this one will continue down. Let's go into the daily time frame. Let's remove all this business. Yeah, I think this will continue down. We did have a bounce, really nice bounce in here. That was from last week. Very decent bounce to this last up candle, and it's rejecting back down. So now they will take out this low and drop in there. Okay, so you could look for a sell to come here. All right, let's drop down to the hourly. We do have a similar to Euro Aussie. I think you could get a sell to drop down here if we pull back. Okay, if we don't, then don't chase it, because they might do something nasty. Let it pull back and then you join in to continue going down. All right, so these are the two trades that I will take. If I was to take a trade on this, I will not take directly on this one. I'll just go and take it on the crosses. All right, let's jump to dollar CAD. So dollar CAD, I was expecting this level to hold. So I had a trade on this on Friday. It didn't quite get to my target, so I usually close my trades on Friday. So I closed my trades on Friday, and I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. So this week I'm looking for higher prices on this, and this could, in my opinion, do very well on the upside. Yes, it's pulling back down, but I think this will do very well on the upside. The reason why is I'm expecting CAD, okay, to be dead. When I say dead, I mean to be really, really weak going into end of this week and next week. Okay, so this is setting up a really nice trade. Let's get rid of some of these levels. Okay, I think, in my opinion, it's setting up a really, really nice trade to the upside. So patience is going to be required. I don't know if they are starting from here, because I'm looking for a low of the week to form between today and probably Wednesday, as early as London. I'm looking for a low to form. So any short-term high that gets taken, let's go to the 15. If we do take out any short-term high, okay, right now, like here, if we take out this short-term high, then I'll be in for a buy, and I'll be expecting this consolidation to be taken off. So this is your trigger. If we close above the short-term high, essentially that's a breaker entry. Okay, so if we take out this short-term high, you could look for a buy to continue going up to target this consolidation, and look for this area as well. So I'm expecting this to be really strong on the upside, and they are showing me signs of it. Okay, usually they're gonna manipulate first. Okay, so this move to the downside is pretty much is good, because when they manipulate to the downside, it's showing you that that's a good trade to be in. Okay, so I'm expecting higher prices. If we do break above that short-term high on the 15 minutes, you could look for a long. Just wait, be patient, let it show you first before you jump in. Okay, they could take it all the way down to the down candle on the daily here. Let's remove this. They could take it all the way down here and pick up more orders from there. So just be patient for it to turn around. Okay, if you drop to the weekly, there's also a down candle in there as well. So they could potentially take it all the way down there and then reject and then scream for this level. Okay, so let it show you and then you go in. For now, it's not showing anything, so do not try to be cute and try to get an entry now. Okay, so let price give you a hint. Let's look at something that could potentially happen. Let's look at something that potentially can happen, because I like to map out scenarios. Okay, so a possible scenario is they're gonna find, or price is gonna find support here or down here. These two levels is where I will look for price to find support. Okay, after taking out this short-term low, that's basically a breaker, right? So it could find support at one of these levels, and at that specific level you wait to see a short-term high broken. Yeah, a short-term high taken out, and then you look for a continuation to the upside. Okay, so these two levels, you can mark them and then see what happens when price gets there. If we do form something like this, let's say we do form something like this, okay, then you look for a buy, or it comes up here and then drop again, break, then you look for the buy. I like the fact that they've left this high and that high intact. That's equal high for me, and that's basically sellers gonna place their stop loss here and there. So you could look for that as your upside objective. So these two levels are what you're watching. All right, let's jump on to Swiss. Dollar Swiss, I had these as my upside objectives, and the reason why this is not going down is because this is being manipulated. Okay, and once you understand manipulation in the market, you have the keys to the kingdom. The keys to the kingdom is manipulation. Once you see price being manipulated, that's your key to the kingdom, because price is now going to go the other way. So to me, that's all I look for. I look for stop runs. Yesterday I did an interview with a guy, and I was explaining. He calls it stop hunt. I call it stop run. Stop run, it means they stop you and then they run away with your money. That's why I call it stop run. So that's what I'm looking for in price most of the time. So something like this. Okay, you might be short somewhere in here, and then they stop you out, and then they run. So I'm waiting for the stop to be run, or people to be stopped out, and then once they are running away, that's where I get interested. So this is a stop run, and then there's a manipulation. Manipulation is when I'm expecting price to go maybe higher. I'm expecting price to go higher, and then they will go down first. That's the manipulation. So these are the two things I trade most of the time. I mean, all the time. I'm looking for manipulation, and I'm looking for stops to be taken. If you understand these two, you have the keys to the kingdom, because that's all the banks, the institutions, smart money, that's all they're doing. Okay, the other bit is easy, like retracement to optimal trade entry. Those are very easy, but the harder ones is these ones, when you know that they're going to take out. So there will be times you will know when they are taking stops or they are manipulating by understanding what price is meant to do. So like I showed you earlier on euro, I'm expecting price to go down, so they can take price up as a form of manipulation and then stop people out. And that's what happened on Friday on New Zealand dollar. Let's jump quickly onto New Zealand dollar. So New Zealand dollar on Friday, you can see right in here. Let's jump onto the 15, because I traded the New Zealand card with this. So I saw price running up here. So that's the manipulation I'm talking about. If you don't understand this, then you will get caught into the buying and missing out what they're actually intending to do. So I like to see them manipulate, and then when they are rejecting and going lower, then I'll sell short. Okay, that's one of them. And then the stop run, which is something like this. They take out a short-term low and quickly reject and go the other way. Right? So that's what I see on cards, that they are manipulating it to go down and then probably reject and go higher. Something like this. Manipulation, go down, manipulation, go up. All right? So if we break this short-term high, you can look for that, or if it does come down here, which I think it might do that, because there's a break on the 4 hour, so they might take it up here and drop again, come back up, and then find support and go higher. This has no manipulation, so they're gonna continue going higher. So I'm expecting these highs to be taken into that level there. So this week, that's my upside objective on that. Okay, there's no level I can use to take an entry. I just have to jump in. This morning I wanted to just jump in, but I decided to stay away from this. I don't know, I just felt like I want to stay away from it, and it has so far performed well, in my opinion. So I'll be looking for maybe a pullback. I don't know where, because there's no, I'll call, quote unquote, good level for me to place an entry. This is too high for me. I don't like it's near the upside objectives up on this high, and usually when they take out a high, they retrace deeper. So this is just too close to the high. I wouldn't want to take an entry there. Maybe I'll wait for them to drop further, and then once they break back up again, then I'll look for a breaker entry. For now, I'll just stay out because it's just too high on a Monday. Okay, so stay out on that one and look for dollar card to give you something to go up, or you can take the pound dollar trade. What's this one here? That's the euro pound. I was watching it this morning, and I had this up candle as a potential area to go short, and I was looking for just 1-to-1. Okay, and 1-to-1 was bringing me back down to this candles, because I thought probably they might find support there and then continue going higher, because this is a weekly level, so they might find support here and continue going higher. So the trade was just from here to there, and it did that within an hour. Went up there and then rejected and then dropped down, and they have broken the short-term low, so we could see a continuation to the downside from here. So that is a breaker. We could see a continuation to the downside from where we are. I don't trust this pair, to be honest. That's why I went for 1-to-1. At the moment, it's just not clean. Price action is not clean. So I look for these kind of moves, and then I like price to come back up and then drop again. That's what I did last week Monday. We had a good drop, price comes back, and then a sell short. Same thing in here. Price drops, comes back up, sell short. It might continue on to drop to here. All right, it might continue to drop in there. The only thing I don't like now is the trend line that we have. They might look to upset it. I don't like seeing trend lines. Clean one. Yeah, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's too clean. Okay, and 5 rejection. So they might look to upset that. I like this idea when I see it in price. I really want to go long, but I just don't like this pair. All right, so for now I see they might take it down here and then come and punish them. Okay, but be careful if you want to sell short, because we are very deep down at a discount. Right, we are very deep down as discount. Between this high and that low, we are at a discount. Okay, we are at a discount, so be mindful if you're selling short. Okay, it's just what I see. That's what I'm pointing it to. It looks like this down candle, they might want to close the longs they took to the upside and then send it down again, and then probably reject and go higher. All right, so that is that on this pair. Aussie, New Zealand. So I have this trade idea since I think last week Wednesday, and it's still trying to play out. It's still trying to play out. This morning I got an entry again, because I did close my trade on Friday. I got an entry again here on a pullback between this and that. So I got an entry again here. So I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. Okay, at least this consolidation here as an upside objective for now is possible. So I'm looking for a first target to take out this consolidation. Ultimately, I think they're gonna take out this, or for long term they're gonna go down. Okay, this is too deep. If we were to go up on this one, yes, yeah, I see that one. on the hang on, let me check, give me 1 second. I got my friend pointing me to 4th of September. 4th of September. Fourth of September gap. This one here. Yeah, if we do get down here, I think they will go down. So the way I see price, right? Let me talk you through it. Because I'm very well equipped with ICT market maker buy and sell model, right? And in my experience, okay, if we have a buy model, which essentially that's what I'm expecting this to be because we are bullish, so all this is just retracement. If we have a buy model, there are levels that it can go to and there are levels that it cannot go to. Yeah, okay, I see that, because that's why I couldn't find it. There are levels that I expect price to go to and levels that I don't expect price to go to. Okay, so this is on the 4-hour. To me, this is a buy model. Okay, you can see. I don't know if most of you are familiar with it, but that's what I see. So I see price very different from maybe the way most of you will see it. And this is based off experience. Okay. Based off from experience. Oh, come on. Right there. Okay, based off from experience, right? These are what we call areas of accumulation. When price is going up, they are buying here, they are buying there, they are buying there. So when price is coming back down, they're going to sell here, they're going to sell here. But this one, that's the first move after they accumulated their longs, right? So to me, if price is to continue going higher, this is where they should end. They should finish buying, or they should retrace back down to here and then continue going higher. Okay, based on experience, that's it. This is where they should stop their buying. Sorry, they should stop their selling and continue to go higher. Maximum taking out this low. That's why I've got these two levels. Maximum taking out these two lows, this low. So I'll allow, okay, price to drop back down here and take this one and still be okay to continue going higher. If we drop below here and come down there, that's it. This is no more a buy. Okay, this is no more a Fibonacci, you know, high to low retracement and then we'll be going higher. I don't see that when this happens. So what I see is this. If they come down here, then it's gonna go back up and take out stops and then ultimately drop back down. Okay, I see that gap. Yeah, I don't have it on my one, that's why. I don't have it on my one. I don't like FXCM. I don't like FXCM. The reason why I don't like FXCM is I think I did used to have FXCM on all the pairs that I trade. I mean, I have here, and then one day I was looking at price action around 10 in the evening, and what I saw was NZ. I was trading NZD card back then, and I had a level I wanted to trade the next day because it was a breaker. And what I saw was that on NZD card on FXCM platform, they manipulated price to the breaker and then dropped. Whereas on New Zealand CAD on Oanda, there was no manipulation to the upside. Price didn't go as far as that level. I think maybe I'll be able to show you. Let's go on to NZD CAD because I do remember it like yesterday. It was I remember it like yesterday. Give me 1 second, I'll show you why I decided to go for Wanda. It was somewhere in here. July. Somewhere around in here, okay? Somewhere around in here. There was a 4-hour breaker. I was expecting price to continue going down, but when market closed around 10 p.m., what happened was they manipulated FXCM to go up into the breaker and then dropped again. Whilst this one didn't do that, this one didn't go to the breaker, it stayed below, and then the next morning it went to the breaker. So then I saw that there's a lot of manipulation on I think I'm using Wanda. That's why I can't find it. Damn it. NZD CAD. Alright, let's go back in time. Yeah, you probably will have to, because there's a lot of manipulation on FXCM platform. So that's why I decided to close all the, because I did have everything as FXCM, but when I saw that, I was like, you know what, yeah, I don't want to use the wrong data. And what I did again was I checked all the other platforms. So we do have a lot of platforms on here. NZD CAD. So I checked FXCM, I checked Oanda, I checked this one and the other ones, and most of them didn't go up to that level. Okay, most of them didn't go up to that level that, but FXCM did. So when I saw that, I was like, you know what, I think FXCM is screwing up the data, so I don't want to use it anymore. So I switched over everything to Oanda. That's why I've ended up having just everything as Oanda. So maybe you might want to do that, because if you don't trade with the right data, you might see that as a gap, but then probably it's not a gap, and you might look for a buy there and it'll get there and then it'll just slide through it like, you know, hot knife and butter. I wish I could find that. I can't find it. I'll find it and send it to you. Okay, I'll find it and send it to you. So that's why I don't like it. So back to what I was saying. In my opinion, if prices to go up, okay, we shouldn't close below here. We shouldn't stay down here. We should just hold on to this area. Like I said, maximum, take out this low and then reject and continue going higher. That's how I trade. If it doesn't do that, then I change my bias. So if it does eventually close below here and it comes back up, I don't see this as, okay, we've made a low, we've broken market structure, then I'll be expecting a buy to continue going up. I wouldn't see price that way, but I'll see the opposite. I'll see this move to the upside as manipulation, because in my experience, that's what it is. They will manipulate price as if it's going to go up, only to take out some stops. When we have this condition, which is the buy model here, when you have that condition, not every condition, but when you do have this price action, that's what I see. Okay, and if you're not familiar with what I'm saying, you probably wouldn't understand, but you can experience it, and then going forward you can see it for yourself. Okay, I do have lots of examples of it in my study journal. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so the reason why I brought that discussion up is this one. I feel like it will go up and then eventually come back and take out this low, because they've retraced too deep. Because on the weekly we are bullish. Okay, on the weekly we are bullish and price has retraced, but this retracement is too deep. Okay, we've gone beyond where I deemed as a level to continue going higher. Okay, we've gone too deep, therefore price is not willing to continue going higher. So it's gonna give a bounce, like I'm explaining earlier on New Zealand, on Euro Pound. It's gonna give a bounce, and that bounce I'm looking for it to go to here and there. Okay, maximum maybe to fill this gap and then continue going lower. So we could see this push higher into this down candle or that down candle and then continue going lower. That's why I have targets at these levels, because they might drop down here. And this pair, if you go back in time, I did that because I was trying to understand, okay, is there anything that leads price to go down? And I went back as far as 2010. Okay, so that's 10 years worth of data, and every November, December, January, this thing falls off bed. Okay, every November, December, January, this pair here, it drops. It's only once in that 10-year period, that it went up. Okay, only once in that 10-year period that the November, December, January price went up, and that was, I think, 2012 or 2015, one of them. I can't remember exactly when. Right, only one. So that is really high probability that they're gonna take out this low. So I'm not expecting this to go to the moon. I'm just looking for a bounce. Okay, so this is counter trend going up, and then we look for a sell to continue going lower. So on the weekly, they could send price to this down candle or send price to that last up candle, and then we will look for a continuation to the downside. So this is really probably a good trade to monitor for the downside objective here and there for a swing trade idea. So if we push up into, depending where, we don't know, but one of them is going to be where they will stop price, and then we break market structure again, then we look for this downside objective. Okay, really decent trade to come up. So watch this, have that on your watch list. Okay, for now I'm looking for a bounce. It's a counter trend trade. It's not price coming back from the weekly time frame and we're expecting high prices. That's what I was thinking earlier in here, but they've come too deep for me to look for that. So now I'm expecting price to bounce up and then continue going lower. So look for, if you want to, you can wait for the sell, or you can look for a bounce like I have. I got a buy here and I'm looking for higher prices, and then once we get to one of these levels, I'll change and then I'll be looking for a sell. So I'm looking out for a market maker sell model, right? So this is the beginning of it. We are consolidating. Price is gonna push away and then probably consolidate here, and push away, consolidate there, push away, consolidate here, and then hit this, break market structure, and then we look for a continuation to the downside. That's how I interpret price all the time. Okay, that's how I interpret price. And if you do this, you're gonna see amazing how price moves. So that is Aussie New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, I've already talked about this. Look for a sell to continue going lower. Pound New Zealand, same thing. I'm expecting lower prices on this. The reason being, price is unwilling. Okay, as much as it wants to go higher, it's unwilling to do so. We do have the trend line guys around. We have the trend line guys around. I would like to see a breaker before I go for a sell. So you can wait for this down candle to give up, okay, and then you go for a sell, and for your sell you'll be looking for targets here. Okay, it's a daily level. Let's change this tiny lines. Okay, let's draw this properly. I like to draw it like that. That's why I don't understand trend lines. I never understood trend lines. Like, how will you draw it? This one or that one or that one? Which one makes sense? I don't know. I don't know how they can trade this thing. Like, price is coming to a trend line and I'm gonna buy it. Why? Why do you want to buy a trend line? Well, you don't know. Okay, so if you can wait for this down candle to break, then you look for lower prices. On the hourly, I think we do have a, we could manipulate price into this up candle, the short-term high, manipulate it to that up candle and this down candle as a breaker as well. So if we do, you can take a sell right there and your stop goes above this breaker, that down candle there. If they are to do that, then you target down here. Sorry, the second one. Okay, so if they are to take price up there, you could look for a sell and then drop. If they don't and they take out this one, then you could use this particular candle's low, but your stop is going to be all the way up to that high. It is what it is. That's a breaker, so that's the rule. So if we break that one, then that's a 4-hour entry. So your entry is here and your target is still there. Okay, that's breaker rules. I didn't invent them. I wish I did. So you're looking for manipulation above this short-term high and then your stop above there, and you look for a continuation to the downside. I love the trend line guys. They crack me up. I see someone with so many trend lines on their chart and I'm thinking, dude, do you think if I have lots of money to buy the market, I'll be looking at trend lines? I'll be looking at trend lines to take my trade. Come on, man. Just be realistic. Like, I don't know. It's just, it amazes me. I've never used trend lines. I think when I was doing supply and demand, we didn't even use trend lines. We were using, I think, moving averages. Yeah, when I sign up for supply and demand for this company, Set and Forget, they do supply and demand as well, but they got a different name as Set and Forget. So when I was trading with them, that's the company that actually used trend lines. So they look for trend lines to be broken, and when the trend line is broken, they look for the supply level that broke the trend line. So if we have, let's say, this as a trend line and then we break it, okay, then they will use this up candle as their supply zone. Okay, so they will use this whole up candle as their supply zone. So if, let's say, for example, prices to come down and break this trend line, then because of that, they will use this as a supply zone because price was able to break the trend line. Okay, so that up candle is the cause of the breaking in trend line. So then they will use this as a selling area. If prices to ever come up there, they will be selling. Okay, that's how they use the trend line. And I'm glad I did move away from all that, retail stuff. So yeah, we're looking for a continuation to the downside. Pound yen. So pound yen, last week we had this shaded area as a buy zone. We are looking for buys in this area. Okay, we are looking for just buys. So we had a weekly level. These three levels are weekly levels, and essentially we're waiting for a breaker to form and then we buy. So I didn't share it prior to this first trade. Let me delete this one so you can see. So I didn't share the dates, the actual date prior to this first trade. So I took this first trade by myself and then I shared the date. So in this shaded box, we are looking for higher prices on this pair. So this morning I woke up and I saw price trying to retrace. We had a low here, a high. This is the manipulation I'm talking about. This is not a stop hand or a stop run. Okay, they stop people out. This is not stop run. This is manipulation. Okay, down candles all the way down to take out this low. Okay, this is a stop run. That's the difference. When price doesn't close below a previous low, that is a stop run. This is a manipulation. Okay, they manipulated price down only to take it up. So when I saw the retracement this morning right in here, I got a buy. So if you pull the fib, yeah, and this is what I'm talking about in terms of a buy model. If I'm expecting price to go higher, I don't expect it to go below that 70.5. It can go there, but it should be a wick. If it goes beyond that, I'm looking at it as this is going to go down, come back up, take out a short-term high, and then come down and break the low. Okay, so this morning I saw it right there, and then I hopped into a demo buy. We are trading demo this time. No live funds. Okay, or just observing price. Right, and I'm looking for higher prices because of this shaded box. The shaded box is indicating higher prices on pound yen. Okay, So I'm still expecting at least this high to be taken. All right, and I'll give you a little hint, or a little what's the word, secret in trading. So I want you to look at this high and this low. Okay, the way I see price. This is my little secret. We have a few people in here, so I can share it. So when we have a high and we have a low, and then price breaks this short-term high, this is bullish. Okay, so where do I expect price to go to for my first target? So for my first target, I look at the low attached to the high that is broken, and I extend it up and I find that high. So I look for the leg that led price to manipulate, basically, and then I find the low attached to it, and I find the high, and I extend it out and look for target there. If you don't believe me, go through your chart and then you see how many times you see that after we break a short-term high, connect the dots, and you see when what price does. Okay, I'll leave it there for you to study. So I'm expecting price to come up here. Same thing on this one. Dollar, yen. Friday I gave them that we are same thing on the all the yen pairs in that time period between the 28th of October. So if you're here and you're not in my the VIP group, you can write it down and then trade it next year. So 28th of October to the 4th of November. Just this days, expect yen to be bullish. You can go back in your charts and then back test it. Right, if I'm chatting crap. Back test it if I'm chatting crap. But most of the time you're gonna see this kind of move, bullish price action. So if you go into all the yen pairs, CAD yen, I have a buy on CAD yen as well, and it's the same period. Okay, the 28th to the 4th, and I got a buy. If you go to New Zealand yen, same thing, 28th to the 4th. I didn't buy this one, but it was a very good sniper entry on Friday. And then price retrace. I wanted to buy this morning, but again, that's too many trades and I don't like it. Alright, it retraced all the way down to the rejection block, and then price rejected. I don't see this. The reason why again I didn't buy this, because I didn't see it going higher. Why? Because it retraced too deep, and when it does that, I don't like it. Okay, so back to what was I've already talked about that. Back to this one. So Friday I gave them to look for price to come here as a target, and it did, and it retraced. I'm expecting this high to be broken, and if that is broken, my eyes is right here. That's where my eyes is. So if we break that short-term high, my eyes are on two price targets, this one and that one. Why this one? What I just shared with you here. High, low. Let me remove this one so you can see it properly. High, low, high, low, high, broken, taking out, connect the dots. Okay, it will bring you here, and then it bring you there. Okay, so for the bigger picture, drop down to the 4 hour. If we take out this high, then connect the dots again, it will lead me there. So I'll be expecting price to come up here. So as upside objectives, obviously you don't wait for price to go all the way there. There will be elements of price that can stop price. So there is a break in here as a target, the up candle there, that's a target, and then this high. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting price to do, but we need to find a way to break this high. It can't go all the way up there as I'm speaking now. Okay, it can go up there, but it's too late to get an entry. You'll be chasing price, so let it break this and give you a retracement, and then you can join it. The actual entry should have been here on a 4-hour basis. Okay, if you want to take a lower time frame basis, then you can look for what I've described earlier, a stop run and then a breaking structure. Right, look for a stop run and a breaking structure, and look for these upside objectives. We are still within that period. Okay, we've got, I think, 2 days more, so we'll be looking for 2 days up candles. And because I'm still expecting dollar to continue going higher and yen to continue being weak, this thing can just fly to that level. All right, euro yen, same thing. From the 28th till the 4th, I'm looking for buys, and this one hasn't done really much. Why? Because of the weakness in euro. So I've literally stayed away from this particular one because this euro is too weak. Okay, euro is dead, so euro yen is not going to move as much as the other ones are. So the ones to really focus on would be they're already gone, the CAD yen, and then there's New Zealand yen. So if I jump onto this one, will move, but not yet. Okay, and again, I'm looking at what price is doing as it's dropping. Once you steady, most of you here, which one do you want me to go over again? Which one do you want me to go over again? EMKD trader. Okay, cool. Thank you for the reply. So this is a pair I'm studying how it's dropping, the euro yen. I'm looking for this. Dollar CAD. Okay, let's go on to the 4-hour. Okay, this is something you can study as well. See, when price is dropping, you want to study how price is dropping. If you're familiar with ICT market maker buy and sell model, okay, you want to study how price is dropping. Is it dropping in a straight line, or is it dropping, consolidating, dropping, consolidating? When you see price drop, consolidate, drop, consolidate, that is a hint. Oh, okay. I'll go over it again. That's a low nugget. Okay. So when you see price dropping, consolidating, dropping, consolidating, dropping, consolidating, this is telling you that there is something going on. What is actually going on is an entity someone is buying. Okay, someone is buying, but they are not buying in the sense that you understand buying. The people that have money, okay, that moves price around, this is how they do their business. They buy when price is dropping. They are hedging. They don't buy when price is going up like this. That's not profitable. Yeah, that's not profitable. You can, if you have a lot of money, okay, buy when price is dropping, buy when price is dropping, buy when price is dropping, and then when it gets to the level you're gonna put all your orders in, then you buy lots of it. So let's say this is where you're expecting to finish your buying. When price gets here, okay, then you buy lots of it down here. So by the time price turns around, what's going to happen? You're going to be in profit, right? So all this would be in a drawdown, hypothetically speaking. It's not like that, but let's say that's how it is. So by the time price gets here, okay, and then you buy lots of it down here, because that's the level you want to buy everything or stop buying. So you buy lots of it here. As price is turning around, okay, what are you gonna do? This one will be in a in a drawdown. Okay, so once it goes, you were buying, you were not selling. Okay, so you're gonna close it, close it, close it, and close everything. So what would you end up doing? Would you end up being profitable or not profitable? You will be profitable. Why? Because you were buying when price was dropping. So as price is going up, you are gonna buy all that you want to buy down here, close it, go long, close it, go long, close it, and go long, and then finally close everything here, and you have lots of profits. Okay, start looking at price this way, and you'll be amazed how much price will make sense to you, because that's how I see price. Okay, that's how I interpret price. That's how I see price. When it's dropping, I want to see how they are dropping. If it's just one way, let's see. If I don't see this kind of move to the downside, or when it's going up, if I don't see that, then that price action doesn't make sense. Maybe that's a lot of manipulation going on, so maybe I'll stay away. But if it's this way, I get really interested, because that's smart money, or that's quote unquote some entity that has lots of money that's accumulating buys. Okay, so I'm very interested in this pair going forward, especially towards the 11th of November. So next week, maybe this week they might drop down a bit more into this area, and then next week from the 11th of November, price will turn around, and I'll be interested in buying this thing all the way back up for this equal high. Okay, so that will be euro yen, what I'm expecting on this pair. And get rid of all of these, so you can have what I've just outlined here on your chart. If you trade this is one of the pairs that I trade, so I'm really watching it like a hawk. Let's do it properly. So you can get familiar with what I'm saying. So if you are familiar with my mentor's stuff. Oh, why am I doing that? Then you will understand this drawing. It's all over the internet. You can look for it, search for buy model, and then you see this. So I'll be expecting a turnaround to continue going higher. Maybe a buy somewhere in here. And then there. Okay, and then once we get here, I'll see, because this is a low, high, low. This could be a continuation to the downside. So this is where I expect price to kind of have problems going higher. So this would be a high, low, and this could form. I'm turning this to a bit of a teaching. This could form optimal trade entry, high, low. If you pull the fib from this high to that low, okay, and it forms optimal trade entry, and it could lead price to do what? Come down again. See how price is being efficiently delivered in my head? Or it could just go up and take out this equal high. That's the two scenarios I will have. Euro USD is doing the opposite. Is going down at the moment. So Euro USD has the same thing, but on the opposite side of it, which is this one here. We've completed the first one. Now I have to get rid of this. Actually, let's do this for you. I'll do it for you, Mr. E, Mr. EK, Mr. K. Let's get rid of these boxes. Alright, let's get rid of this. I'll bring them back. Okay, we had a first one in here. This is what I'm talking about. This. And then when we turn around, okay, selling here, selling in there, and then selling in here as well. So you can see how they are closing, or they bought here, they bought there, they bought there, and then reverse. They sold here, they sold there, they sold there, and then they sold everything that they want to sell up here. Okay, and then they turn around, and then here they close the sell. Sorry, they close the buy. They bought here and then sold more, and then selling more. But the bigger picture is this one here. If you look closely, if you don't understand it, you will not see it. You need to do it for a while before you can see what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is a bigger version of it. So the bigger version ends here. Okay, that's why I'm expecting price to drop down here. So that's a bigger version of this smaller one. It's not exactly how they do it, but that's how I interpret price, and it makes sense to me. Okay, that's how I interpret price, and it makes sense to me. So I'll go with the storyline. It's like a story that I'm telling myself, so I know what to do at every time. Let's bring all them back. Okay, if you open your eyes, you're gonna see it. Yeah, if you open your eyes to price, you will see it. Let's go and see. So there's one here on CAD as well. We did trade this. For those of you that has been with me for the last 3 weeks, we got or I gave a sell up in here. Where was it? Here. I gave a sell in here, and the target was this low. Why was I giving that low? It's the same thing. If you train your eyes, you will see it. Okay, that they bought here, or they sold, whichever way you want to translate to make you understand. Okay, there, and then they put there. So when price broke down here, my eyes goes right back down there. Okay, and that's how I see price. So where was I? Euro yen. So euro yen, I'm expecting something like this. Okay, so you can have this drawing on your chart if you want. Swiss yen, same thing. You can see Swiss yen also doing similar. Okay, they are consolidating, dropping, consolidating, dropping, consolidating. So what might end up happening, I'm expecting price to turn around, and if it does turn around, then I'll be looking for higher prices basically. Okay, so I'm looking for a turnaround. This one similar to euro yen next week. I'm looking for the turnaround in next week. So maybe this week they might just stay here and then drop one more time. There's nothing here that I like. Yeah, there's nothing there that I like. So maybe they will finish by going below this low and then reject and start coming back up again. Okay, so I'm watching it. I'm not buying straight away. I'm watching it. So you could have this on your chart and then watch it as well. And if it does turn around, it gives you the confidence to know this is how I interpret price, and this gives me confidence to know where exactly price should go to. Because once I see the turnaround, straight away I pull the fib. Let's say price turns around here, and I know that minimum price is going to reach for this level. That's the minimum level, and the maximum it can go all the way up and take out this high. So I can get buy down here if I do see it early and it turns around here. I can get buy there and then target this. Okay, and then I'll leave a portion on to target that one and that. So I'll leave this one here because that's what I want to see, something like that. I want to see price drop, reject, find support, and then we go higher. CAD yen, that one is gone. We did have a buy from here, and we are in that shaded area. So my target is this one here, to rebalance all this move to the downside. So I'm actually in a demo buy. Again, we are not trading live, we are on demo. So I'm looking for a target at that level, and that probably will be it on the upside for me. Okay, because I didn't see the nice drop, consolidate on this one. Yeah, you will see it here. It's quite different. So that's why I'm expecting this down move to be rebalanced on the upside, and that'll be the end of this trade. Ultimately, I think it can go up, but I will have to see a 4-hour a daily breaking structure. We have broken structure on the 4-hour, but I would like to see a daily breaking structure to see higher prices. If not, then price is going to return back to a daily level, which is this one here, and the one that I've already highlighted. It's going to return to there and then probably continue going lower. Okay, we did have a 4-hour market structure break. So when we have a 4-hour market structure break, price is going to go to a daily level. So my daily level is here, so price is going to reach for that. we've got a few pips to go. If you're not scared, you can join in for the rest of the piece of the pie. About 27 pips to go. Maybe it might not reach there today because time of the day will not allow it. It's retracing back to this down candle. Okay, so if you're bold and you're not scared of taking a loss, you can buy there. I'm already long from here. That's why I caught my buy. So you can catch your buy here and then look to target there. New Zealand yen, I've already talked about this as well. I didn't see this going higher because of the deeper retracement, right? Ultimately, I still want to see this go higher. New Zealand yen, I'm expecting higher prices on this. It's just not giving me good price action to look for a buy yet, but I'm looking for higher prices on this. All right, I'm patiently waiting. This is just, you know, short-term trading, but I'm waiting for higher prices on this. So if it does give me price action that tells me we are going higher, then I'll post it. Maybe I'll share this one on the free Telegram once it shows itself. At the moment, it's not showing anything, so I'm gonna stay away. Once it shows itself that it wants to go higher, then I'll send this as a trade to you guys. All right. New Zealand CAD, absolutely beautiful. I love this pair, and the reason why I trade it is because it does do, it's like I command it. It does do what I tell it to do. Okay, I was looking for exactly this high to be taken, drop back down into this gap, and then we look for a buy to continue going higher. All should happen within this shaded area. Okay, so within this shaded area, I started buying, or we started buying as a group in here. Okay, and then for some reason I saw that they were not ready to go down, going to go up. So I saw the manipulation, and when it turned around, I didn't see the actual buy. The actual buy was down here, and price run away, breaking structure to the upside here. So I'm expecting higher prices, but it's not going to go up in a straight line. So once we took out this first target, it's going to retrace. So I'm expecting it to retrace to this gap, and then we look for a buy to continue going higher. Okay, so Friday I took a sell on this one right here, the one I talked about earlier on New Zealand dollar with the manipulation. So I took a sell right here. Okay, after they manipulated price up and dropped it down. Okay, that's manipulation, this, and then drop it down. I took a sell right here, and then I looked for targeting there. So I got out exactly, let's go back in time, exactly right there. Okay, that was my target. And now price is going down. So where do I look for price to drop to? Here. And then once you get down there, we'll be looking for high prices. So what does all this mean? It means that if you're not scared, if it pulls back up, you can look for a sell. So if it does pull back up here, the short-term high into this last up candle, you could look for a sell again to drop down here. Right, you could look for a sell to drop down here, and then once you get down there, I'll be looking for a buy. All right, so if it does pull back up, look for a sell to drop back down here, and once you get here, you'll be looking for a buy because the daily is bullish. It's just going in a retracement. Okay, so I'm looking for this as a potential level to buy at and continue going higher. And gold is also, I have a really nice level on gold that I'm looking to sell short. Where is that? Here. I said I was going to sell my family and put was it this one? I think so. I'm gonna sell my family and put it on the trade. All right, so I'm looking to sell this breaker. When price broke down, it never returned back to the breaker. Okay, so you could look for a buy. I was looking at this I think Friday, but I just didn't want to take a trade on it, right? Because it was telling me that price wants to go. How did I know price was going to go up there? Because we broke a short-term high in here. Okay, once I see that any pullback is subject to take price higher, but it's only coming up to rebalance all that crazy move we had last week. So price is just coming up here to rebalance or to fill in or to have up candles on this side. So we have down candles here. It's just coming up to have up candles on this side to the last up candle. I think the last up candles on the daily, this one here. So from the low to the open, that's where I'm expecting price to run to, and then reject back down and attack this equal low. All right, so this move to the upside is really good, absolutely brilliant, because it's the start of the week. Okay, it's the start of the week, and if I'm bearish, I'd like to see that. Okay, anytime you're bearish for the week, you want price to go up first, because this will lead all the sheep to the slaughterhouse. Yeah, and then the trend line the trend line brothers will be also, because they got punished last week, they'll probably be looking to revenge here. So this time they might get joy, because price is bearish, so they might get joy with the trend, the break and retest. Okay, so I'll be looking for a sell between this and then looking for price to come back all the way down here. And for downside objectives, if dollar is going to continue going higher, I'm expecting this to drop at least back down here. And EKD, I want you to see same thing that I was sharing on those pairs. I want you to see same thing in here. Right here, they accumulated. Right in here as well, they accumulated. Okay, and then the last accumulation was here. So once we break it, what they do, they are closing the trade there and then put in more orders in here. So the next target, all this is just waste of time. The element of time on the daily time frame is patient, so they're gonna take it down to the next level, which is this one here. So that's where I'm expecting gold to drop to. Okay, so this sell, I'll be expecting ultimately price to drop down here. It's crazy, but it is what it is. So that's what I'll be expecting gold to drop to. But target wise, let's get rid of this one. Target wise, you take profit as it's dropping. So you could look for, this one is done. That was last week's trading. Absolutely wonderful. That would be your first target here, your second target there, and then you leave the rest to drop and see how far it's going to drop. And then finally oil, we had our trend line brothers on this one as well. There were two of them. There was one here, and then there was one there. We actually punished the first trend line, guys. Okay, and price has dropped to exactly where I was expecting it to drop to. Okay, now that we are there, we might get what we are looking at, that bounce, but we will still go down. I think we're still gonna go down. Today is Monday, so it's perfect that price is going up. That's what we want to see. Okay, if we are bearish, we want to see price go up first, even though we did gap down. Okay, price did go down when we opened. It did run down quickly to that level. That's what it was coming for here. So when the open, price quickly ran down there to that target and then rejection. So we might see a bit of a pullback between Monday and Wednesday. I'll be looking for a sell to continue going down to come and target this weekly gap. So my next target would be here. And then if we get crazy, then there. Okay, let's say the election will cause a lot of price movement. So I'll be looking for these two targets on the downside. So we might get price to hit this. Get rid of the trend line, brothers. Alright, we might get price to hit this because that's a breakout on the weekly. So between the low and the open and close, between the low and the close, we might get something as a trade or a rejection to continue going lower. So that's perfect. It does run this short-term high, and it will trap a lot of traders in there, and they will look for a sell. So I'll probably look for something like this in here with a stop just above that up candle, and then I'll look for a continuation to the downside. Okay, so that's oil. All right, so that will be the end of the analysis. Is there any pair anyone wants me to look at? Is there any pair anyone wants me to have a look for them? I actually missed out. I actually missed out on the pound. I should have sold it, right? We have died off. Nice. And we came to the breaker as well, and we are dying off. I should have sold it. But, you know, for the love of you guys, I just want to stay here with you guys. US 30. US 30. US 30. So that is Nasdaq. No, that's not Nasdaq. That's the Dow. Dow. The Dow. Dow, Dow, Dow. Dow, Dow, Dow. Dow, Dow, Dow. Oh, sorry, yeah. First one is German 30. Let's look at German 30 first. German 30. Huh. This pair. Oh, this. No. It brings back some bad memories, man. Oh, man. When you don't know what you're doing, it's It's the craziest thing ever. I have forced so many trades. I'm emotional right now looking at it. I've forced so many trades on this and it has killed me several times. I'm like, damn you US 30. That was back in 2000 and I think 16. Yeah, I was forcing trades. I had no idea what I was looking for. I just like to buy and sell. I was doing supply and demand, I think, and it didn't work. Not even a single one trade. Oh, Bitcoin. I've not gone on Bitcoin yet. I'll do that in a second. Give me a second. I just want to remember have some memories back about this, and maybe revenge. Go on and revenge. Okay. So we had this drop. Okay, the easiest trading you ever do is when this happens. Okay, when this happens, you look for price to come all the way back up to the last up candle. Boom, right there. Okay, that's the easiest trading you will ever find in price. Okay, when you see a quick move one way, you look for price to come back to the last up candle, just like I showed you on gold. Okay, let's go back to gold. So these are my little babies, just like this. Okay, you look for price. You look for price to come all the way back up to rebalance to the last up candle. When it's clean like this, it's crazy how perfect it does it. Okay, and then price will drop. We look for price to come all the way back down again. That's how it works. Okay, so this thing is in trouble. We look for price to come back, rebalance everything, and then drop back down here. So whatever happens over the course of time, it should drop back down here. And it's already giving hints that it wants to do that by doing what? We have a high, we have a low, we have a high, and we break down. Okay, this move is telling me price is coming down here, but it's not going to do that. Maybe with the election it can drop. With the election it can do that, just like it did with the coronavirus. With the election it can do that, but with what I can see in price right now, it looks it wants to come here. Okay, with this move, that last week's move, this is what we call displacement or institutional sponsorship. This has tipped its hands that someone with big money is willing to send price lower. So how are you going to trade it? You look for your breakers. So that is my breaker, and right there. So these are the two levels I'll be expecting price to retrace to. Okay, so drop down to the daily. Now it's making more sense. So I'll be looking for a pullback. Basically, that's what you'll be doing. Wait for a pullback to go short. So pull your fib from here to there. Look for a sell up in here. Look for a sell up in here to continue going down. It could come all the way to the last up candle. So whatever you do, your stop loss goes above this high. Okay, and then you look for a continuation to the downside. You can look for a buy to go up there, but I don't if you have confidence, you can do that. Okay, if you have confidence, you can do that. They've let's see if I can see a buy model in here. Not clean. Not clean. Somehow, yeah. Yeah. So they've broken market structure here. You can see low, high, low. We've broken up. So they could come back for retracement and then continue going higher. So maybe a buy on this down candle to continue going higher. And then whatever you do for the buy side as well, place your stop here, the rejection. Okay. And then you can leave it here, but for peace of mind, I like peace of mind, trading peace of mind. If I'm going to put it here and they can run me out and then still go up, then I'll leave my stop here. Right, come and stop me out here, and then I'm wrong, and then it's gonna go down. Right, so now I'll look for this as my upside objective. Or you can measure, use the other strategy I shared back in the days, 50% strategy. So if you apply the 50% strategy, we have a swing low formed already. Okay, so you measure this high to that low, and then you target the 50%. So whatever happens, price is gonna pull back up. So look for a pullback. You can buy the pullback. You can be a very good trader, buy the pullback and then sell short again. So you could look for a buy here and then target there, and then once you get up here, you start hunting for sales to continue going down. On the downside, the objective I gave is long term. It's not going to happen overnight. It can with the election. Okay, can't just whack it one candle down there, but that'd be crazy. So for now, you look for this gap as your target. Okay, you look for this as your target. So if you get a sell up there, look to target here, and then it probably pull back up again. See how price went up? It didn't go up in a straight line. It went up, down, sideways, up, down. So that's how it's gonna do. It's not gonna drop down there and make it so easy. Let's go on to US 30 now. US 30, we do have, let me go on to US 30 because this one has too many gaps. US 30, wonder which one should I use? Let's use that one. Let's go on the weekly. All right. This also has the similar price action. We had this huge move to the downside, okay, and then price came up to rebalance to the last up candle right there, and it's broken market structure, but this is the second type of market structure break. It's not as the one I showed you earlier. This is weakness. Okay, when it doesn't go up to take out the high and break, this is showing you like this is weak. So this is showing a lot of weakness. Therefore, I think price might pull back up and then continue going lower. I don't like these kind of setups. I like this one. Let's go back to the other one and show you the difference. So I like it when it does okay. So I want you to see the difference between what this one did and what we are looking at on This one. Okay, I want you to see the difference. The reason why I don't like this, but I like that one. So we have a high, a higher high, and then we break down. Okay, that's how I want to see it, because this will lock in, well, sells. This is a change in direction for me. This is also a change in direction, but I don't have that confidence in this, simply because they've not run stops yet. They've not taken out sellers. Okay, they've not taken out sellers. I like them taking out sellers and going the other way, because then I'm guaranteed that price is not gonna come up again. Okay, I'm guaranteed that price is not gonna come up again. But if they don't do this, then I have the suspicion that they might come up for maybe this one, or probably the two of them, and then continue going lower. So I don't like it when I see market structure break like that. Nevertheless, it's a market structure break, so I'll expect price to go down. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm expecting it to go higher. It means I'm expecting it to go lower, but with low confidence. So if I'm gonna trade this, I'll trade it with lesser risk. I will not go in with a big risk. I'll go in with a small risk, and then I'll be expecting something to happen. You can see where I've got my targets on this one. Dropping down, there is a gap on the lower time frame with equal lows, so I'm expecting a continuation to the downside. We have this down candle breaker. We also have a gap in here, so they could. Let's go into the US 30. Okay, if you're trading the US 30, there is no gap, right? So you need to be careful. They could go between this high and that low. They could go for a pullback and then continue going lower. We have formed a swing low, so you could look for what I shared on the other one is similar. Either you're gonna buy the pullback, and then when we get up here you can sell it, or you can just chill and wait for price to come up here. I like this one. I like that level for a sell area. So if you do get up there, you could look for a sell. Okay, so that was the king crying, and it shows that my time is up. Let's finish this off. Okay, I like that level there. If you ever get up there, you could look for a continuation to the downside. With the election coming up, anything is possible. Okay, so when the election comes, they could do anything that they want, so just be careful. If we, after the election, if price doesn't crazily move above here and they send it up there and you start seeing rejection, you sell it. Okay, and then target this level right here. Okay, so if the election comes out and then you see price move up quickly here, and it pauses, and then it goes sideways, 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 look to sell it back down here. All right, and then lastly, let's go into crypto, and then I'll wrap up, because I need to take my wife out. I was supposed to take her out yesterday, but I had an interview, and I didn't end up going, so she's really mad at me right now. Right, and another thing, the reason why I see this going up before going down is because we use, where I study, we use what we call a triad. So we look at the divergence between the Smt 500, the Nasdaq, and the Dow. So one of them will make a higher low, and two of them is making a higher low, and one is making a lower low. So that is we call Smt divergence. Okay. When that happens, it's showing smart money accumulation. Guys with big money are buying, right? So they could be buying to that retracement as I'm showing you. So you have another extra tool of confidence, or something to give you confidence to be a buyer. Okay. So if you want to get in, you can look for a pullback and buy it and continue going up, and then once you get up here, you look for a sell to come back down. All right. The way I see this, usually during this period, two of them will make a lower low, and then one will make a higher low. Okay, so what I'm seeing now is two of them is making a higher low, okay, and one is making a lower low. That's not how they usually buy. When the buy happens, sorry, just went back to dollar. When the buy happens, is two of them will do this, and then one of them will do that. And usually it's the Nasdaq that does this. Nasdaq always try to hold its low, and then the other two will make a lower low. So I think this the ES or the S&P 500 will drop back down and take out this low, and then we have two lower lows, and then one will make a higher low before, if we're gonna go up again, then we go up. But it will all depend on what happens with the presidential election. You're welcome. Let's look at crypto, and then I'll wrap up. Ooh, that's nice. I didn't know I had this on my chart. Okay. This is perfect illustration of what I see in price sometimes. Okay, I'll show you what this is and what level is in between. You watch this one here, and you're gonna see 127 as one of the things I saw in price whilst I was studying. So if we do have manipulation in price, okay, take a picture of this quickly before I get rid of it. Take a picture, and then I'll get rid of it. So when you see manipulation in price and then they break above the manipulation, usually price is gonna go to 2%. Okay, it's gonna go full 100% of what they manipulated to the downside. So it's gonna go like that, but it goes in stages. It's gonna go to 127, pull back, 168, pull back, and then 2. 168 is a hard one, because once we get to 168, it can just ultimately reverse completely. So 168 is a very crazy one where it can reverse ultimately. So once we get to the 168 on this high time frame, it barely does that. So I'll expect this to pull back here and then continue going higher, or you can just keep going higher. Yeah, it doesn't have to pull back, but usually does. Okay, so I'll expect price to pull back once we hit this. If you look back in time, okay, I was calling this thing to come to the 7.5 and then the 50, because that's the protocol, or that's what I see when I see this kind of things forming in price. In the lower time frame, if you backtest what I've just showed you here, you're gonna see that most of the time, if we hit this and then we retrace, it's gonna go to 50, and then scream up for the 2%. Okay, you look on your chart and then you see if I'm right or wrong. But this being a high time frame, it would take a lot of money to do that. So that's why high time frame, mostly you find that it will retrace to the 1 and then it will move back up to 2. All right, so I'll expect Bitcoin to continue going higher, but there's a chance that it might pull back. So on your daily time frame, if it formed a swing high, then look for price to retrace. Okay, look for price to come back in a retracement, and also look at how price went up. EMK KD? Struggling to pronounce your name. Look at how price went up. Okay, so if we break this low, what's going to happen? It's going to come back down. If you drop down to the 4-hour, you're going to see it properly. So we have consolidation here, consolidation here, we're consolidating here. So if we break market structure, which I think we have right there, okay, you can start looking for sales to go into a bigger pullback. How far is between this low and that high? It shouldn't go beyond the 70.5. So maybe somewhere in here, I'll expect price to drop there and then a continuation to the upside. So if you drop back down to up to the weekly, okay, you can see right in there, that's where I'll expect price to continue on going higher. So we could see Bitcoin drop down here and then continue going higher again to, I think, 16,000. Let's draw that chart again. I need to get some yeah, right there. See how it does match out perfectly. That's price. So I'll be looking for 16,000 basically on Bitcoin in future. All right, but for now we might see a pullback, a bigger pullback, especially if we form a swing high on the weekly. That would be very good to look for price to retrace down to below this low. Okay, on the daily it might play around and consolidate. So when so hard for me to say it, or how the way I see price is very different. Yeah, the way I see price is very different. How do I know that price is gonna go up again? You will know when it does this. Okay, how does it come back down? If it comes back down by consolidating, okay, by going sideways, so if it does what it's doing here by consolidating, this is essentially them building up tension or building up orders, causing buyers to go buy long, short, and then they will get people on the wrong side and then drop it. So as it's dropping, you will see it. Okay, you will see it. It will do something like that. You do something like that. You do something like that. And once it gets down to below that 70.5 level, then you expect price to turn around again. And all the buying that they did on this side, they're gonna reaccumulate them to continue going higher. So once you start seeing consolidation, that is the tip off that price will drop and then continue going up again. If it doesn't do that and it goes up and then drops, to me that is not that's not a sign of prices coming back down to go up. That's a sign to me that this might be a reversal. So that's how I interpret reversals versus a continuation. Okay, so if you want to know whether price is going to continue going up or down, look at how price retraces. If it just retraces with a swing high, then chances are might be a reversal. But if it does consolidate, then to me, that's them engineering liquidity. Okay, so Bitcoin definitely 16,000 is in the cards. Okay, but we've reached a high time frame level, so it might do something like this. It might pull back down. And what was the other one? ETH. Okay, ETH, I'm expecting that you've already seen what I've got here, so I'm not going to talk about it. I was looking for a buy in here to continue going up, so that's what I'm expecting. I think I shared this the last time, so that's what ETH, that's what I'm expecting. And this is a typical example of what I'm talking about, how they consolidated up here. How they consolidated up here, okay, is an indication to me that they might come back up again. Okay, dropping down to the hourly, if we measure this high, this low to that high, see where we are, that 70.5 level again. Price is not willing to close below that. That is what you want to see, because when this happens, it's telling you that price will continue going higher. Once we close below that, okay, price find its way to close, like have a big candle close below that. Any pullback up is just to go back up and run stops, and then ultimately come back down and take out this low. So if you do see that, let's say price now does this, okay, come here and we close down there, and then all of a sudden you see a big move up. To me, that's manipulation. They will send it back down to take out this low. Okay, so that is your piece on your Bitcoin. And what's this one? ETH. Okay, my time is up. I've just run I've gone over my time, well over my time. Okay, so I need to take my wife out. If not, I'm not gonna be happy, and if I'm not happy, you're not gonna get good service from me. So take care. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the YouTube members, and for our members tomorrow, make sure you're there, because I'm gonna give the March dates. So make sure you're there on Wednesday for us to go and finish off with the rest of the month dates for our trades. Okay, so take care, everyone. Enjoy yourselves. Those in the States, please stay indoors. Don't go out. Chill with your family during this election period, and just have fun. Okay, I'll see you guys